Hey guys, Steva here, and today we're going to talk about Alatreon Charge Blade. First off, it looks amazing, most likely the best in the game, for my taste at least, and you can also layer other weapons with it. If you craft a weapon from Alatreon, you can unlock the layered version for that specific weapon type. Also, Defense Boost 7 is a new DPS meta, but more about that later in the video, so be sure to not skip any part. I know it's surprising. But the question is it still possible to beat the Kjarr dragon damage wise, even though they have 35% more elemental damage due to free crit element? We will find out in the next episode of Alatreon's Cartland. I'm just kidding, so let's have a look on the current meta build. This build can vary depending if you need more health boost or more guard, but in my opinion no health boost is not an option at the moment, especially since it's an actual DPS increase and comes for free. It has 668 TFR and 142 effective elements, so the stats of it are pretty decent, but what drags it down is only 40 hits of white sharpness, and dropping from white to blue is a horrible damage loss for both elemental and raw damage. Now let's have a look on Alatreon's Charge Blade. It has 15% less base affinity, but therefore 2 slots, which balances out making the 100% crit chance build. It has just 10 more element, which is almost non-existent, but it has 90 points of purple. Now purple is just sharpness, but as you know, sharpness is literally just a damage modifier for raw and elemental damage, so you get a nice boost of around 5% more raw and elemental damage. This does not show up in your game stats of course, but here in the honey builder it's calculated. RFR is 694 and effective element 116.25. These are numbers which allow you a direct comparison between raw and elemental damage. So Alatreon will deal about 4% more raw damage, and the Kjarr will deal on melee hits 23% more elemental damage. Now this might seem like it completely destroys the Alatreon Charge Blade, but it really doesn't. First off, Charge Blade have low motion value for element, so the damage you see on your melee hits mostly scales from raw, so that big element boost is not that big. At the end it will be about the same, maybe on super weak dragon monsters Kjarr would have better change dealing higher damage, but not DPS. And DPS is what matters. Alatreon CB with protective polish and 90 hits of purple will give you a much higher DPS uptime and even allow you to play savage axe without to destroy your sharpness quickly. Also, if it loses purple sharpness, it still doesn't lose much damage because dropping from purple to white is not as much as white to blue. So yeah, this game is very situational, but I think the Alatreon Charge Blade can beat the Kjarr decay due to sharpness comfort. I tried the combination with 2 pieces of Volcana and 3 Safi to get crit element on Alatreon CB, but since Volcana armor is so bad, you barely could fit in all the skills and it ended up doing less elemental and raw damage, so that's not an option at all. But in case you're fighting a monster that gives you blights, you can go with Coalescence. This will boost your element from 930 to about 1020 when active. You should always use Blight Resistance level 2 when going with Coalescence. It will make blights last for only 10 seconds, so you don't have to sheath in your weapon and take a Nullberry. You will get about 10 more damage per file on Super Dragon Weak monsters, which the only ones in the games are sadly Wrath Family Head and Joe's Set. Only these monsters have a 30 dragon weakness, which makes sadly dragon be the most useless element in the game if you're aiming for damage due to lack of good matchups. One special tip is to use Dragon Mantle if you use dragon weapons. This will boost your element by 200, which is much more compared to Coalescence, but with it it's hard to get a blight since it will protect you from dragon blights, so it's not a good matchup with Coal. I also have another little surprise for you. It sadly happened. We can't make fun of defense boost or call it useless anymore, at least to some extent. Alatreon 2-piece bonus is OP. We really underestimated it. At least for dragon element weapons, it probably doesn't apply to other elements. Its slots are too good and literally Defense Boost 7 comes for free. Now, for those who don't know, Alatreon's armor gives you element depending on how much elemental resistance you have. It may not be much, but going with 3-piece Safi over 5-piece is only 70 element loss and 20% affinity. But using instead 2 pieces of Alatreon armor gives you more than that back, but also on top 200 defense and 20 to 40 resistance against all elements. This means you maintain or even gain damage, but also get for free a massive defense boost. Not that it helps much, defense barely makes any difference, but it's literally free. Sadly, as I mentioned before, there is only 2 viable matchups for Dragon Week monsters. You can use it even in others, but it will not make as much damage as a raw weapon probably. I'm showing you this in game because it's not updated yet on the Honey Builder, but will probably be by the end of the week. We reach 990 element or 1190 with the Dragon Lance alone. Enjoy your new defense boost 7 DPS meta build. I'll be testing this if it's viable for other elements in the future. So yeah, that was it. Hope you all enjoyed this short video, and if so, be sure to leave a like and comment down below. If you need useful information about Alatreon, be sure to check my complete guide out. It shows you all his mechanics, how the fight works, and what element you should use. Someone told me it doesn't show how to kill him. Well, there is nothing more to be said than literally just deal damage with a high motion value elemental weapon. Sadly, Greatsword users got cucked because Greatsword deals almost no elemental damage regardless how high your element is. It can be 1000, it still does like 10 elemental damage. And even speedrunners are struggling to get through the elemental DPS check with Greatsword. With dual blades you hit it easily within 60 seconds on solo. Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome builds, guides and speedrun videos, and with that said, I wish you all a nice day and happy hunting, guys.